while Iranian President Masoud Pesachikian was landing in Islamabad, Pakistan, for meetings with Pakistani mediators. A denial was issued directly by the regime from Tehran in a statement to international media, saying that there had been no discussion about nuclear inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency at the facilities damaged by the conflict. During the meetings in Switzerland, Donald Trump responded directly, "If the regime doesn't comply with what was agreed, he will do whatever is necessary." This clash sums up the current moment of nuclear tension between Iran and the United States. After months of war that began with airstrikes in 2025 and escalated in February this year, the turning point came days ago with the signing of the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding. This document, digitally signed by Presidents Donald Trump and Masoud Pesachikian, established an immediate and permanent ceasefire on all fronts, including Lebanon. It also provided for the reopening of commercial maritime routes in the Strait of Hormuz through a communication line and set a 60-day deadline for negotiations on a final agreement involving uranium. With regard to the Iranian nuclear program, the memorandum contains clear commitments. The Islamic Republic states that it will not acquire or develop nuclear weapons. Both parties agree to resolve the disposition of the stockpiled enriched material, estimated at hundreds of kilos, at levels close to those required for military use, through a mutually agreed mechanism. The minimum methodology foreseen is dilution on site, under the supervision of the International Atomic Energy Agency. Meanwhile, Iran maintains the status quo of its nuclear program, and the United States commits to not imposing new sanctions or sending additional troops during this period. The document also leaves room for future discussions on enrichment and other nuclear issues in the final agreement. These nuclear points in the memorandum represent the core of the current tension. They acknowledge the reality of the material already enriched and establish a path for its verification, but leave important details for the next rounds of negotiation. Right after the signing of the memorandum, technical talks took place in Bergstock, Switzerland, mediated by Pakistan and Qatar. The American Vice President J.D. Vance and the President of the Iranian Parliament, Mohammad Jair Ghalibaf, led the meetings. Specific working groups were created, one for sanctions relief and another for Iranian nuclear activities. The goal was to build a foundation for the permanent agreement within the 60-day deadline. It was in this context that different interpretations emerged about what exactly was agreed upon regarding the inspections. On the American side, Vance said that Iran agreed to allow the return of inspectors from the UN's International Atomic Energy Agency to Iran. On the Iranian side, the position is the opposite. They deny that this possibility was discussed. If you want access to complete analyses with exclusive content, such as videos, charts, and live streams that are not available to the public, become an exclusive member of the channel for only 7 Rs per month. This is exactly where President Masoud Pesachikian's trip to Pakistan comes in. On Tuesday morning, he arrived in Islamabad, accompanied by a high-level delegation, including the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Abbas Zaragashi. This is his first official visit to the country since the beginning of the conflict in February. Pakistan, along with Qatar, acted as the main mediator in the negotiations that led to the memorandum. The meetings in Islamabad included high-level talks, which involved Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and other Pakistani officials. The main topics include expressing gratitude for the successful mediation and reviewing the progress of the Islamabad Memorandum, as well as the next steps toward a final agreement. In addition, the talks are expected to address bilateral issues and matters of mutual interest, energy cooperation, including projects and pipelines, trade, border security, and regional connectivity. Pesachikian's presence in Pakistan also serves to align positions before new technical rounds. Meanwhile, the United States has already taken the first concrete step toward economic relief. The Treasury Department issued a sanctions waiver valid for 60 days until August 21 of this year. This measure allows Iran to sell crude oil, petroleum products, and derivatives, as well as receive payments for these transactions. This is the beginning of the sanctions suspension process outlined in the memorandum. The American goal is to create incentives for Iran to maintain its cooperative behavior during the negotiations for a final agreement, which may or may not happen in the next 60 days. On the Iranian side, President Pesachikian was direct in his recent statements. He stated that the effectiveness of the talks depends on full commitment to the agreed obligations and their precise implementation. Any statement that goes beyond the agreed text, according to him, does not contribute to the progress of the negotiations. The spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Islamabad, was even more specific. He said there was no meeting with the Director General of the International Agency, Rafael Grossi, during the visit to Switzerland. And there are no plans for inspectors from the International Agency to visit the damaged nuclear facilities in Iran at the moment. To get full access to this video, become a member like they did. Just become an exclusive member here on the channel for only 7 rays and 99 centavos per month. Just click here on the Become a Member button. Leave your comment below with your opinion. Do you think Iran will continue? Will they comply with the requirements in the memorandum and allow the international agency to inspect the nuclear sites? Subscribe to the channel here and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next updates.